Well, good evening, guys. Kevin the Comic Doctor coming to you with what I hope will be a very quick video. I want to come on here today because I had quite the response to my the video I posted on Tuesday, my unboxing. I tell you, the power of YouTube, I guess, right? Because I woke up the next day. Usually, my unboxing videos garner 700 views. Well, I did more than double that in less than 24 hours, which is still not a lot by YouTube standards, but for me, it was quite a bit. And so obviously people were watching that video. That's good. You know, I'm glad people were watching the video. What I had to say I thought was very important. And if you haven't watched that video yet, you might want to, you can fast forward through all the unboxing, get to the guts of the matter. I think it was around 40 minutes into the video where I started talking about a fella I met at Fan Expo who basically was explaining to me some of the a scam that I don't know if it was a scam, but a situation he was currently involved in with an individual in our comic community up here in the Ontario area. Well, anyways, I let that be and whatever. And then today I get a call from a buddy of mine who owns a comic shop, a pretty big comic shop, and he's like, "Kev, what the heck? What kind of video is this?" And he was encouraging me to kind of spill your guts, man. Spill your guts. Tell the world. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to. Still not going to. You know, why did I do the video in the first place? Listen, I did the video in the first place as a warning to people. That's it. A warning. There are, I think I explained myself pretty well when I said that there are unscrupulous people out there who do not feel bad about screwing other people over. They're out there. And unfortunately, in our hobby, we have some of those people amongst us. And so I just want everyone to be very, very careful. To think that it could happen to very big books, sure it can. Again, I mentioned the Hero Restoration debacle, which we all know about from a couple of weeks back, with Mike DeCellis being arrested for doing all sorts of nefarious things with the books that he was entrusted with. Well, there are people amongst us that are also doing these things. And I just want everybody to be very careful, be very cautious. I think we can avoid these people if we are a little more cautious. That's all I wanted to do with that video. I did not intend for people to attack certain individuals. And I found out today that a fellow presser was attacked, not physically, mind you, but was attacked, was given a very harsh email insinuating that it might have been him I was talking about, but it wasn't, in fact. And so, yeah, look at guys, I'm coming up here to help you. And I'm sure as hell I'm not coming up here to incite some kind of hysteria, to have people go crazy and really attack other people, businesses, what have you. That's not what my intention is. I encourage everyone to do their due diligence and to investigate the people they work with. There's nothing wrong with doing that. And we are fortunate in this day and age to have the internet, for good or for bad, to do just that, right? We can go online and we can talk to each other and we can find out from each other the experiences we've had with various individuals that are leaders in this community, right? So that was it. I did not intend for anybody to go out there and start pointing fingers and attacking people. And again, when I say attacking, I'm not saying physically. I'm talking, you know, with emails and what have you. Please don't do that. Don't do that at all. Right. Again, the reason why I don't want to mention anybody's name or did not mention anybody's name is because, and I said this again in the video, if you were watching, I hope you watched the whole thing, is I heard somebody tell me an experience they had. And that's great. I appreciate them telling me that and trusting me with that information. And names were spoken to me. I heard the names, but I have not talked to those other people. I have never sat down and had a conversation with the person that's being accused of this. So for me to come on here and then start pointing fingers at people would be totally irresponsible of me and not cool. So I'm not going to do that. Again, I will not do that. Now, I didn't say it was a presser, by the way. If you're listening, I said it was a dealer. I didn't say it was a presser. And guys, Ontario is a big place. If you go, I live in Oshawa. And I can tell you right now, in Whitby next door, I mention Steve all the time, Comic Book Addiction. He's a massive dealer in Ontario, one of the biggest in Ontario. If you're at Fan Expo, Comic Book Addiction was right there front and center. The guy puts out a big, great spread. Steve's a great guy. You know what I mean? Most regions of Ontario have amazing dealers, huge dealers, okay? From Guelph to London, I could name all, I could go down from Windsor all the way to Ottawa and mention all the key players. I'm not going to do all that, okay? You know, most of them come to the shows and you can find out information about all these dealers. If you go onto the Google and type out, you know, name the biggest dealers in the GTA, or list the biggest dealers in the Ottawa region, or list the biggest dealers in the London area, you're going to find out who they are. Do your research and you figure it out for yourself. I'm not going to be up here, you know, whistleblowing on people. That's not what that video was about. Again, that video was just to tell people and encourage people that when you're working with pressers or with vendors and dealers, do your due diligence. Whether you're buying a book from somebody, whether you are leaving your books with somebody to be pressed and cleaned, whether you're leaving your books with somebody to be sent off to CBCS or CGC or PGX or whatever. That is all that video was about. Again, for those, and it wasn't a lot of people, but for those people that got up, you know, got the pitchforks out and were starting to, you know, go at people, don't do that. Now, someone did bring up, someone did attack that presser with a really nasty email. I'm going to show you guys where you can go to find a presser. Now, I tell you, I'm a presser. That's my business. It's not my usual routine to promote other competing pressers, but I'm going to tell you, if you want to find a presser, a good place to start, if you are not close to me and you want to try somebody else out, let me tell you where you can go. Let me just bring it up here really quickly. Right there. Give me one sec. Right here. This is my Facebook page. I hope it's going to work. I think it's going to work. I did this really quick. Oh, if I minimize it, let's see. Oh, there we go. Yeah, there we go. All right. So this is where you want to go if you want to find a presser. Go on to Facebook, get an account. And these guys, and right here, I think my volume is still working. Comic book pressing and cleaning professionals. There's 7,000 members in this group. I can tell you with confidence that these guys vet the pressers that do the work there. They have a vetted pressers list. I believe I'm on that list. The fellow that was attacked today, Jeff, is on that list. I think Jeff's actually an administrator over there on this Facebook page, I believe. And he did not deserve the attack that he received today. I was very upset when I heard that, and I called him and I apologized. I said I never wanted you to have that. That was never my intention, because he's not even the person I was talking about, for crying out loud. So anyways, if you're looking for a presser, here, this is where you want to go. They've got a vetted presser list. I think I'm not sure where the heck it is. You got to look around and find it. You join the channel or join the page, and the admin will show you where you can go to find pressers in your area. And like I said, they have vetted all these guys. They vetted me. I had to wait 3 months before they put me on their list, for crying out loud. And I think I was pressing longer than most of them, but it's okay. They wanted to vet me. That's good. They vetted me. They vet everyone. And I'll tell you, if someone on that list behaves nefariously, they're going to speak up. And I've seen them do that as well. So this is a good place to start. Now, you've got this vetted pressers list. You've got these vetted pressers. Do I think you should send them your AF-15? Do I think you should send them your Batman #1 first thing off the right off the bat? No, I've said that before. Use different pressers. Try them out. Make sure you like the way they do things. And again, it's not only about the way a presser, you know, presses their books. And I've said this before as well too. It's also how they behave as business people. How do they interact with you? Do you like their personality? Because it's a relationship you are usually, you know, developing here. Most of the guys I talked to Jeff about this today, actually. Most of the guys that I work with, I've been pressing with these guys, some of these guys, for 10 years plus, you know. Sure, we get new customers all the time, but a lot, you know, when you find somebody you like and someone you like to work with, you stick with them, right? But you want to begin that relationship slowly. don't go to third base right off the bat, guys. Don't go to third base right off the bat, or don't go for a home run either. Start slowly, okay? Now, that's where you can find a vetted presser. If you want to, for those that don't know and looking for a presser in your area, check that out. The next thing is, I want to talk about CGC submissions, because this is kind of what I was talking. I didn't really get into it too much yesterday, but this is a big bone of contention for me. It doesn't take much for CGC to approve somebody to be a CGC authorized submission agent. And I've alluded to this before on the channel as well, and it's something that I think needs to change. Now, I'll come on here and I'll attack CGC. They're a big giant conglomerate. They're a big corporation. So is CBCS. So are all these these companies. So I'll attack them and I'll name them. I'll call them out, of course. And what I will say about them is this: I went to their website the other day and I looked for myself on there. I couldn't find me on there anywhere. Now I'm a guy who sent in last year close to $180,000 in invoices to CGC. And you can't find me very easily on their website, which kind of is disheartening for me, because I think I do a pretty good job at doing CGC submissions. But you wouldn't think that, because I'm on their website. You can find me. I'm on there if you dig. One of the companies, or the company a certain somebody's on there quite easily to be found is the person I was referring to yesterday. So it's like, what the hell's going on here? What the hell's going on here? Make sure, again, when you're doing CGC submissions, just like pressing, that if you're not doing it yourself, and I'll tell you, the safest way to do it is to do it yourself, but it's going to cost you more money. It usually does with shipping. If you're going to use a store, find out when they're going to send your books. Is it going to be, and get it in writing. Are you sending the books out this week, next week, 1 month, 5 months? Find out. Because a lot of these guys don't send a lot of books in. They just don't. They don't have the numbers that myself or some other dealers have. Okay? So you want to get all the information out. And if they start giving you a song and dance, or if the information you're getting doesn't compute for you, then guess what? Go somewhere else. Go somewhere else. Find someone else. Remember, paperwork. Paperwork. Always get paperwork from whoever you're dropping your books off with. Get an estimated time of return. And if the books don't come back at the time in which you've been told, then you start making phone calls. You start harassing them a little bit and find out where the hell your books are, and don't feel bad about it, because that's your property. I get guys calling me all the time saying, Kevin, my book's almost done. Kevin, my book's almost done. Like I said, I'm putting that status thing on my website. It's being worked on as we speak. That's to kind of help alleviate my clients, to kind of see where along, what's the status of their books. Been meaning to do that for a long time. I'm finally doing it. But that's why I come on YouTube. Every single week I'm on here to be accessible to you, to answer your questions should you have them. And whoever you're dealing with in regards to CGC submission, get the information from them that you're going to need and want to put your mind at ease. Simple as that. Now, some stores, they don't want to do CGC. They're doing it only because a few people want to do it. And because of it, they might charge you a premium. They might make you jump through hoops a little bit to get the work done. They're not going to rip you off. I wouldn't worry about that, but it's not their priority, right? They'll do the CGC submission for you at your local comic shop maybe, but they might not be sending books out every week or 2 or 3. Maybe they're sending their books out every month or every 2 months. They wait for maybe an order of 25 books, moderns or vintage or whatever. And when they finally get it, then they'll ship it out. I'm kind of doing that right now with video games. I don't really want to do video games, but some guys, some of my good clients want me to help them, so I'm helping them out with that. But I'm just waiting until I have enough video games to complete a submission. I think that's happening with some of these stores that are doing CGC. So you want to find out exactly what's going on. And if they're not willing to tell you that information or give you kind of a rough estimate as to when your books are going to go, then maybe go somewhere else. Find someone who does it more regularly. That's it. It's about asking questions. I tell my students all the time, if you don't understand something, you're not sure about something, ask questions. And you should do the exact same thing and not feel bad about asking questions. Don't feel oh, I'm bothered. No, that's the job, right? I'm doing this. I've decided to do this. I'm doing this. I've dove in head first, and I'm happy to do it, and I'm happy to answer questions. I'll try to answer questions as quickly as I can. Sometimes, as you know, if you know me, I'm pretty swamped. I do get back to you. I probably have 5 messages or 10 messages on here right now. I haven't checked. My stupid TELUS doesn't work still. My voicemail. Anyways. What else can I tell you? So CGC, really quickly. You sign up to be a dealer. I know guys that sign up to be a dealer only to send in their own books. So they're probably sending in like maybe 50 books a year, 100 books a year, tops. So why are these guys dealers? That's what I don't understand. There really needs to be a change at CGC. They need to change how they deal with us dealers. And again, I've said this before, people that are giving them a lot of books should be given a little more access to the company and a little more respect by the company as well too. Yeah, let's go over to the chat. I don't know if you guys are even saying anything or not. I didn't really look at the chat window. Where is it? Where's my chat window? Is it there? Is it this? No, that's not it. Hold on, let me find my chat window, guys. I think it's right here. There it is. There it is. Okay. Oh boy, the chat is blowing up a little bit. Let's see what you guys are saying. And is Sticky Goose here? Hey, you need a prostate exam. Sticky Goose, you've come to the right place. Just stay in the video. Stay put. Don't go anywhere. When the video's over or when the stream is over, maybe we can do like an online or like a long distance prostate test. That's really weird. Okay. Funny that Sticky Goose is here actually, because he's been getting a lot of flack lately for the reason he's getting lots of clicks is he's kind of clickbaiting with all these controversial topics and all these things he's doing. And then another guy came on the other day was talking about Sticky Goose and how Sticky Goose is able to get more numbers because of all the controversial topics he's covering or the crazy things he does over on his channel. And he even said, I'm going to start doing controversial topics once a week. It was not my intention, honestly, to do a controversial topic. That is something I encountered at Fan Expo. It was kind of it was in my chest there. It was bothering me. And I want to come out here and talk about it. And the only call of action that I ask people to do is not to go and harass people that are innocent, but to do your due diligence. Like I said on my video the other day, or actually I did not say this, but I did respond to somebody in the comments. The information is out there. That's all I'm going to say. The information is out there. I'm not pointing fingers at anybody, but if you do your digging, you will find. All right, let's go over to the chat and see what you guys are saying. DJ Nashville's here. How you doing, DJ Nashville? Good to see you. Hey, Doc, it's Warren. Oh, it's Warren. You changed your name. It's a pretty sexy name you got there. Oh, the other business. Okay. Winston, how you doing, Winston? Good to see you. JSS says, part due already? Yeah, well, I think I explained why. Mark's here. How you doing, Mark? How you doing? Luke's here. Gord's here. Well, I don't know if it's a good one or not. Sticky Goose. Hey, Bar Lord, how's it going? Sticky Goose is talking about a prostate exam or something like that. Canada Comic Guy, you're good. Do your homework, people. Thanks, Canada Comic Guy. Appreciate that. It's not libel, slander, or defamation if it's true, Doc. So it's important to identify folks, I guess, but that's my opinion when you warn. But agree, it's on us to do our own due diligence. Look, JSS, yeah, that's probably true. I could ask Sticky Goose because his wife's a lawyer, but I just don't want to be that kind of channel. I don't want to start drama. I don't want to get clicks that way. I don't want to get subscribers that way. That's not why I did it. A lot of guys are saying, you should tell us who it is. In fact, like I said, the comic store owner who commented said, and he knows exactly who it is, by the way. He says, just say the name. And I'm like, no, I'm not. Now, if that store owner is listening to this, and I've said this, and that gentleman wants to come on here and talk to me, I'm more than happy to put him on this channel and we can talk. Mano a mano. And I'll ask the questions straight up. No hate, right? No hate at all, because again, I've not heard their side of the story. It's just that I've been hearing these rumblings for a few years now. Another one of my clients dealt with an issue with the same individual a few years back, and then this kind of happened again. I'm like, what the hell is going on? Why is this still happening? I don't understand that. How do people that scam others, how are they able to keep going? And JSS might say, well, if you say the name, maybe that will stop. Perhaps, maybe I will. I don't know. I'm not there yet, man. I'm not there yet. Johnny, how you doing, Johnny Knight? Sticky deformation. Gord, I did my due diligence, and that's how I found and came across this cool. Gord, thanks, man. I appreciate it. Sticky Goose says, I'm sick of the deformation in the comic community. So am I, Sticky Goose. So am I. And you know what? Sticky Goose gets a lot of heat, guys, but you know what he does? He just kind of speaks his mind. I do respect that. Eric Williams, so much for avoiding drama. Sounds like a lot of people checked in the video and some maybe went too far with their pitchforks. Exactly true, Eric. I did not want to see that. BK Hita, hey brother. BK, let's hear the question, man. Let's hear the question. Cretan Bull, Comic Doctor, do you have an opinion of Capcom comics that you'd be willing to share? I don't know Capcom comics all that well. I feel bad because I don't know their names. I've talked to them at cons. They seem like nice guys. I know they got broken into last year, which was really crappy. They really made a mark in Ontario as a big comic vendor. I have nothing, and if I had something bad to say, I probably wouldn't say it, but I don't have anything bad to say, really. I think it's Jaden. Jaden is the son's name, and the father, if you're watching, I apologize if I forget your name. And I think that they have the presser they have working for them. Funny enough, I met him at Niagara Comic Con, and I'm like, I know you, and I used to press for him like 12 years ago. He goes, yeah, I used to press my books. There you go. And now he's working for Capcan. Nothing bad to say about Capcan. I know they got a huge inventory. They have become one of the prominent dealers in Ontario. So that's all I can say about them. Marco, hello. Good on you for boosting other pressing avenues. It's the Comic Doctor for me from now to all. Thanks, Marco. I appreciate it. I've always said this, and this is what I laugh about CGC. I think a part of the reason why they don't promote me, or they don't give me a hard time, but one of the reasons why they won't feature me is because I press books, and so do they. So why are they going to promote me if I'm going to press books? But the way I look at it, they're crazy because they can't press all the books. I can't press all the books. I want to press more books, don't get me wrong, but I can't press them all, guys, right? I'd love to help as many people as I can, but me and Napur and Charlo can't do them all. You need more than one. It's impossible. And again, just like CGC, and we always say it, everyone's so excited that PSA is coming on board because it's going to give them some competition and keep them honest. I think the same thing applies with my business. Now I'm a small little nobody in Oshawa here, right? Like, who am I? But I'm a business, and I've got competition close by to me. Right in the GTA, there's probably like 1,000 pressers, right? Many of whom I worked for at one point, right? And that's fine. I always encourage people to go off and learn and do it themselves, right? But having more pressers and having more businesses that are like me inspire me to do things better or try to do things better, to push myself to add things and services that maybe other companies don't have. It keeps everybody a little honest, right? And I think that's a good thing. So nothing wrong with that. Mike Evans, Kevin fell me up for Mike, I told you, don't tell anybody that. I thought it was just between you and me. One Express, how you doing? Lee Rogers, I taught myself how to press because who better to take care of my comics than me? Naturally, I only became good at it after 3 years. Funny you should say that. You know who presses my comics now? Not me. I don't have time to do my own comics. When I have comics to press, I hand them over to Charlo and Napur. I don't know if my son's watching. I don't think he is. No, he's not watching. So I got my son a little something at Fan Expo that I need to get pressed, and I just gave it to Charlo. Charlo's an expert, man. When it comes to magazines, the guy's the bomb. So I just gave it to him to press the book and charge me, because I have time. I don't have time to press my own books. But you're right, Lee Rogers. When you first start, trust yourself. If you screw up your book, you only have one person to blame, and that's yourself, right? But yeah, nothing wrong with that. Eric says, take your presser out for dinner and make out first. Jeez, man, what's going on over there, guys? David Dryden says, good evening, Doc. Do you know if my books have gone through the press? David, I have no idea. But if you tell me the week, like the month, like early, mid, or late month, I can tell you where we're at. if you have that information. Due to the drama with CGC, I no longer slab with them. If I do slab, I'll be with CBCS and maybe PSA if they turn out to be any good. Lee, you're not the only person I've heard say that. That being said, I still have people that are diehard CGC, and they're gonna look at. You're always gonna have people stick with CGC, regardless of what's happening over there. And I really do believe Ben Gate is over. I don't know if Sticky Goose is out there still. Have you heard anything about that, Sticky? Have you heard anything about the Ben Gate coming to an end? I called it a few weeks ago that it wasn't going to last very long. As soon as all these YouTubers started making a big deal about it, and what's his name? I just talked to him today. Oh, Palm Beach Pressing. Since he made that video, and then everybody talked about it. Yeah, it brought a lot of attention to that situation, and they rectified that pretty damn quick, and I knew they would. That's good. Do you think PSA will overtake CGC? At one point, I thought maybe they would, but I've been hearing from a lot of my dealer friends who do a lot of work with PSA on other stuff like cards and other collectibles that if you think CGC is bad in terms of customer service, just wait. You ain't seen nothing yet. Apparently, PSA they're pretty not the greatest. But again, I've never worked with PSA. I've never dealt with PSA. I have no clue. Hopefully, that will not be the case. But I heard that they're pretty stringent. They're pretty strict. And I'm telling you guys, yeah, CGC F's up a lot, especially this last year. But their customer service, the people I talk to, are usually top notch. Now, going back 10 years. I don't know. They're pretty rude. I'm going to say it. So come up and say that. When I first started with CGC, they were not the most pleasant people to talk to. But I noticed a shift about 7, 8 years ago where they started becoming a little more user-friendly. And everybody I speak to at CGC and the customer service department have been nothing but pleasant and helpful to me. Even as I complain and bitch about things that are going on, they're always quite helpful. So yeah, we can complain about their, the mishaps and the problems that are going to happen, guys. It's a huge machine of a business. But at least they listen to us when the problems happen and they fix it, man. They fix it. I'll tell you, I'm still shocked they fix cracks. When a cracked slab arrives and it's totally FedEx's fault or whoever's fault, they'll pay to get that book sent back, reslabbed, and right back at you again. And it's not, and they don't have to. They don't have to do that. They don't, and they do. So you know what? That's a pretty big deal. So I hope PSA gives them a run for their money. Again, it'll just make the company better, in my opinion. I skipped DJ in Nashville. I mean, Donald Trump was vetted too. Come on now. Was he? Did he ever give out his income tax information? I don't think he did. Oh, what the hell's going on here? It jumped here. Guys, sorry about that. It should jump sometimes. What the hell? It really jumped hard. What the heck? Okay. Okay, I don't know what's going on. I just jumped. Okay, wait. Sticky Goose, Bar Lord. Okay, I sorry guys. This whole thing jumped on me. What the hell? Oh, there it is. Okay, Eric Williams. Does CGC ever edit that dealer list? They should work in a ranking system or something, or even feedback. Dealers and submitters help them and sometimes wonder if they give enough back. And that's what really aggravates me. Like, I'm going to give him a call tomorrow, I think, because I've had enough. Like, it's ridiculous. I've been with them for 10 years. I used to be top of their list, and now you have to like search and press back and this. And I do signature series with them now. I busted my ass at Fan Expo. Probably lost money doing it, to be quite honest. And they don't give you a shout out. That really aggravates me. And I just don't want it for myself, guys. I know. Like, I mean, I mentioned Gotham. I mentioned Carlos. He's been doing CGC for longer than me. And why isn't he given a little more extra love? You know what I mean? He should get some extra love for what he does, right? Anybody who submits, thousands of books a year to this company should be given a shout out. I don't care if they have a distributor up here or not. They don't bother with us. Don't have us as your authorized dealers if we're not really your partners, your strategic partners, as you like to call them. It's very aggravating. Barlord, the only dumb question is the one you don't ask. I agree with you 100%. Dave, where do we find the status of our books with you? basically you call and ask me right now. I'm working on that for my website right now. It should be probably a week or two, and you're going to see at the top, I'm going to have a little status bar. It may not be for orders that are currently out there, but for all upcoming orders, it will then start generating a status. As we work on the books, we will update the status. It's basically all it's going to be. It's to hopefully lessen the amount of times I have to speak to people on the phone, because I am getting a lot of texts and calls. Again, I like when people come on here on YouTube and talk to me. I can sometimes give you an idea where we're at. I know right now we are in terms of Fan Expo books, we're pretty much done all those books. They're going to be going off to CGC next week. We are probably into early mid-August books right now. So if you have any July books, they're probably done. They're probably waiting for me to approve them before they go off. Lee says, I only press customer books locally. I meet with the individual and fully cover where his books are at, and that they will be after I'm done. That's what you got to do. Sticky Goose is full of it. Dan says, Bar, absolutely agreed. Ask, don't complain. Pioneer Pleasure, what should I ask if I see my books through a shop when you know your books are at CGC? I've been waiting over a year now. They've told me that it's because of the Hugh Jackman signing. Well, again, it all depends, right? If it is a Hugh Jackman signing, I haven't even heard about a Hugh Jackman signing. Is he signing? Where is he signing? At CGC? I'm not sure about that. Pioneer Pleasure, give me more information outside of the video, and I'll see what I can do to help you. But I don't believe there's not been a Hugh Jackman signing announced at CGC. There were some rumblings, I believe, unless I'm mistaken. Maybe somebody wants to go over to the CGC site now and see. I don't believe so. Hey, John, how's it going? Lee says, for the comic collectors out there, the good as well as the bad needs to be discussed. It sure does. But we got to keep our heads together. We can't be attacking people that are innocent, that have done nothing wrong, right? That's the thing. The hysteria that I never thought for a second that video would have conjured that kind of reaction, that visceral reaction from somebody. And to just find somebody arbitrarily and go at them when they were, I don't understand that. Dannon says, I've ordered online from Capcan, great prices and weekly drops. Once of the best online stores in Ontario. Lots of books, I guess. Less of modern, if you're into that. Starting to get more Silver Age. Yeah, again, I've not heard bad things about Capcan at all. I've heard nothing bad about them at all. What I've heard is they got an enormous inventory, a lot of selection. So if that's your bag, they did have a TMNT #1 I was eyeing back at Niagara, but I think it's sold to somebody else. Kalen Kenny's I've ordered from Capcan, mostly modern stuff. I'm happy with them. Great prices and selection. There you go. Thank you very much. Oh, you don't even appear on the dealer page. Thanks, Luke. I know, right? I'm there. You got to look, but I'm there. Modern if you're into that. So Luke said Paradise seems to be the top shop they push. Yeah, it is. They are. But there's a lot more than Paradise, right? There's a ton of huge companies in Toronto that do this. I know Capcan does CGC. I know I do CGC. I know a few pressers around here that do CGC. A lot of CGC. I know Gotham Central does CGC. I know, and a lot of companies don't do it. They don't want to do it. It's a pain in the ass. So I don't know. Sticky Goose, Lee Rogers make you a YouTube channel coward. Lee Rogers make a YouTube channel coward. He's going at you, Lee Rogers. Okay, you guys can fight amongst yourselves. Talk a lot with the keyboard. Okay, I'll let you guys fight it out. Okay, I found you there. There you go. Yeah, I'm there, but you got to look for him, which is stupid. Troy Tootie. Hey, Troy, how's it going? And were you able to find anything out on that pint-sized Sports Illustrated? Can't wait to watch the whole video tomorrow. Trust is gained slowly but lost in a second. That is for sure, Troy. I found out nothing about that. Troy, why don't you, if you're on Facebook, go to my Facebook page and or I'll take a picture of that. Troy has this really strange Sports Illustrated mini magazine, and I know nothing about it. Maybe one of you guys do. I'll try to post that for Troy. Okay, I'm going to skip over the fight between Lee and Sticky Goose. Prince Zodiac, Doc, follow your conscience. If it feels wrong, there are always others to get the information they are looking for. You're a great presser and an even better person. I'm super glad I found you. Prince Zodiac, always glad to hear from you. Thank you so much for that, man. I do appreciate it. Yeah, that's it. That's all I'm doing. And I hope not to do a video like that again, you know? But sometimes I get upset and I just want to get on here and warn people. I've done it in the past, but people don't tend to go back and watch old videos. So I bring it up because it was kind of fresh, right? It was kind of fresh. Luke says top 10 in Toronto and top 2 in Oshawa Church. Of course, it's just Oshawa. One Express says, do you feel the comic market for CGC will go back up in 2025 or later? I hope so. I hope it does. I hope it does. You know, it's been down for too long, and you know, I think the films have something to do with it, guys. I think that the numbers, I don't know. We had a really good run, didn't we? We had a really good run, and I think the prices are going to slowly do this, very, very slowly. We're not going to see a giant spike like we did during COVID, and then a giant crash that we experienced thereafter. But I do think we're going to start seeing an improvement. People are buying comics, guys. I see people buying comics all the time. Even at my shop on Saturdays, guys come in. I don't make millions or anything, but guys come, they're buying, they're browsing, and they're looking for books, looking for deals. Everybody's looking for deals, and there's nothing wrong with that. And that's what you want to do, is look for deals, right? So the interest is certainly there. Now, is it going to continue for 20 more years, 30 more years? Is this hobby of ours going to be alive when Sticky Goose is, you know, 60 years old? I don't know, man. You know, my kid's not into it. I tried, man. I tried. He loves his video games. I've said this before. He appreciates the comics, but he ain't going to keep the comic industry going on his own. I see very few young kids coming into my shop looking for stuff. Get the odd 20-something-year-old. So I think we're going to I think that we're going to be aged out at some point. And I think that has to do with anything. And I've talked about classic cars before. If you want to buy a car from the 1940s or 50s, now's the time to buy it, because all the guys that love those cars, I hate to say it, are no, they're not. They're with us, but they're not with us for much longer. You know what I mean? So the interest in that model and those models of cars, and you know, that's what we're seeing right now in the 1960s. Those are still very popular, but you know what? When I kick the bucket, you know, and my generation kicks the bucket, then who's going to be buying those 1960s and 70s cars? I don't know if anybody will. And I think the same thing happens in everything that's collectible that's out there, right? We're comic book collectors. I think there'll always be comic book collectors, but as we start aging out and we start, you know, going the way of the dodo bird, becoming extinct is what I'm saying. You know, I think the books that are going to rise to the top are going to be those key books. You know, of course the golden age keys are going to always have value in my opinion, because there's so few of them. But all these books we're fighting over now, you know, all these modern books, I really, guys, I haven't collected modern books for God knows, I don't know how long. I personally, it's not my bag. I think it's, I would stick with the silver and golden myself, even the bronze, but even that stuff I think is, unless it's really beautiful, really rare, I don't know. Prince Zodiac with a $2 tip. Thanks, Prince Zodiac. Appreciate it. Hey, Doc, long time no see. Hope the family is good. We are doing very well, man. Back to school and busy. Zero Corey says, Sticky, okay, but I'm not going to get in the fight. Dave, Sticky, okay, you guys are... Sticky, get out of here. You're causing a whole drama here. Dave says, my friend submitted books to Charlo when you and your son were at Niagara Falls Comic-Con. I think it was June 8th. Dave, then if it was June 8th, your books are done. Your books could be at CGC. I have a stack of invoices right here. And there's a lot. It doesn't look like it, but there's about probably 25, 30 invoices here. And I wouldn't be surprised if yours are in there. I have one box left at the shop that may have some leftovers from this time period, but I got a feeling your books are gonzo. So you'll be hearing from me soon. If you contact me like outside of here, I'll give you a much more specific time, Dave. Okay? Me and my friend. I remember. I missed you. Hey, Doc, Lee says, this is the first time I have seen you on YouTube, and I like the overall message. I just subscribed. Looking forward to more vids. Thanks, Lee. I didn't want to get involved in your fight, in your little fight there, but welcome, my friend. Welcome. Glad you like it. Mark says, don't know. I've ordered a book from Capcam and still waiting on it, but they usually are on the ball. Yeah, guys, you know what? That's great. Capcam's getting great accolades. I think we should grade slabs like get the slab slabbed. You got an ASM Threader 9.8. That's about slab 9.2 because it's bent. Yeah, you never know. You might start doing that. Well, they're grading the signatures, right? Dannon says, a lot of guys between 40 and 60 are coming back to the hobby to buy those books from their childhood. They are. But again, how long is that going to last, Dan? And I don't know. I think that there's a time limit on this. Maybe I'm wrong. I hope I am. I hope comic book collecting goes on for another 20 years. Because you know what? Aside from the ups and downs and everything, it's been a hell of a lot of fun. And I've met a lot of really awesome people. I really have. I'm going to tell you, some of the most fun I had this year, Montreal Comic Con was a blast. Meeting people who I've only just... I remember seeing, again, I mentioned this before, meeting Stefan in Montreal, and Stefan collects those Heritage Quebec books, high grade only, and we just finished a few and they look great. They're at CGC right now. Like meeting him face to face was really freaking surreal because I've been talking to him for so long, and there he is now, right? So that was a lot of fun. Going to San Diego this year with Robert Meyer Burnett and meeting Swagelhaas and many others at San Diego. It's been a fun year of comic books. The community is great. There are a few bad apples out there, though. That's all I'm trying to say. And you know what? Let's stick together and try to weed those bad apples out and call people on shit. And if you're not happy with something, I wouldn't go right to like... I don't like people who go onto Google or wherever or to Facebook and start slamming somebody without talking to them first. I don't like that. I remember years ago when I was kind of just starting, I did a book for a guy in the States. It was a what do you call it? Werewolf by Night 32. It was a mid-grade copy, and I was doing the book, but CGC at this time was taking forever. And he started slagging me on Facebook. I had no idea. I wasn't on this page. And another presser from Vancouver named Cameron, really nice guy. And Cameron and I became friends after this, actually. Just like almost like a professional courtesy. Called me up and said, hey, Kev, my name's Cameron. I run a pressing company out in BC. There's this client of yours, I think, that he's on Facebook, and he's slagging you hard on Facebook. So I go onto Facebook, and sure enough, he's slagging me. What the frig? He didn't even call me or talk to me. So I reached out and I said, dude, what's your damage? And he's like, well, there's been so... I go, I told you the turnaround time. I told you at CGC. You never called to get an update or asked, and you go off onto a public forum and start attacking me? That's bullshit. And so we had it out a little bit, and he apologized, and then that was that. But I mean, if you have a problem with somebody... Look, nobody likes conflict. I hate conflict. I don't like getting into fights with people. I don't like it one bit. You might seem like I do, but I don't. I don't like it. And what I really can't stand is when people go at businesses without giving them a chance to make it right or to find out, because sometimes there is extenuating circumstances. And I felt that way about Hero Restoration a little bit when everyone was going at him like 2 years ago, because it all started like a couple years back, a year and a half. I was like, give the guy a break. Maybe something happened in his family or whatever, give him a chance, right? God forbid something happens to me. And I would hate for everybody to go attack my wife and say, where's my stuff? Shit, listen, wait a second, right? Within reason. I'm not saying wait a year, but but reach out to people. Sometimes the answer is right there. You just got to ask. Like I said, ask questions, right? And Dave just asked me a question there. Where are my books? I said, Dave, I believe they're at CGC. I said, give me a call, outside of here, and I'll give you a much more precise answer. No problem. Happy to do it. But when people attack without asking questions first, do your due diligence first and be calm. Be calm. Lee, okay, sorry. Dannon says, I try to get into modern, but no one wants to buy them. There's too many of them. Lee says, Doc, many of your views on comic collecting is exactly what I have been saying for years. Oh, good. Kindred spirit. As Robert Meyer Burnett would say, we park our shuttles in the same shuttle bay. Our shuttlecraft in the same shuttle bay. Luke says, Hugh Jackman's signing was before the strike. People have been getting their books back according to the forums. Oh, okay. So it's a slow thing. Luke knows the signatures. So that's your answer right there. Hugh Jackman was kind of busy the last couple of years, but perhaps that's the reason. Marco says, well, the local comic shop I go to, they have a healthy amount of kids, but they also expanded into CCG, and the last one is mostly old grognards looking for back issues. Yeah, that's good. You have to expand. I can't understand why most comic shops don't offer CGC grading or pressing and that sort of thing. I don't understand that. But some of these we've had this conversation before again. A lot of the old comic store owners, they're set in their ways, boy. They don't want any of this stuff. There's all this newfangled grading and all this newfangled pressing. No. Here's my guide. Here's my book. I'm going to price it and sell it, and that's that. Lee says, "Hey Doc, for your information, my nickname is No Filter Lee." My gosh, well you and Sticky Goose got into it pretty good there. Dennis says, "I think that's also why a lot of comic shops have gotten into Pokemon cards and sports cards to adapt to the new generation." Yeah, I don't like any of that stuff. I don't know it. I don't know Pokemon. I don't know even sports cards. It's not my wheelhouse. Toys, I like my toys, and that's why you're seeing vintage toys at my shop. When you come to my shop, tons of vintage toys. I love that stuff. I even like it more than comics, guys. I'll be really quite honest. I love my toys. But there you go. Anyways, guys, look it. Thanks so much for watching. Again, it was never my intention to push to prompt or not prompt, but to incite anarchy out there in the interwebs and have some of my colleagues, some of my other pressers and whatever be attacked for what I said, because what I was saying was I didn't point anybody out. So again, do your due diligence, ask lots of questions, talk to people you trust, talk to your friends in the business, like your friends who are also in the hobby, and see what their experience is like. And and again, I'll leave you with this, and this is the last time I'm going to say it. If you're new to this or you're starting to press books, find somebody you trust. Start slow. Give them a couple of books, 2 or 3 books, and don't give them like $10,000 books. Give them a $100 book too, and don't even CGC. Just get them pressed and see what that's like, and then baby steps into CGC. Again, I'm going to submit CGC books differently than the next guy, and the next guy, and the next guy. There is no standardized way of doing it. I have done what works for me. I think I've come up with a pretty good way of doing CGC. I understand the shipping process. I understand the brokers and the customs and all that stuff. So I figured all that out, and I've got it down to, I think, a well-oiled machine. It's all we can do. It's all we can do, guys. Listen, have a great night. I have 2 more boxes. I was going to do it tonight. I was just too tired and too sweaty. I'm going to have a shower and go to bed. Another live unboxing coming to you on Tuesday. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to text people whose books are ready. I am going to be in the shop this Saturday from 11 until 2. So if you're in the area, come on by and say hello. If you've got books you want pressed and clean, bring those on by. Happy to take those submissions. I just found out that I'm going to be at the Greater Toronto Card Show on Sunday, September the 15th, only from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. That's it. That's all I can do, guys. I'll be there from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. taking submissions for, I was going to say comic books, but actually magazines. I was asked to come and take magazines for pressing and grading, but I also take comic books too. If you have comic books you want to bring with you to that show, I will be there again, only from 2 until 4. And that's the Monte Casino Hotel on Chesswood. I think it's Chesswood Drive in Toronto, up in North York. I'll be in Hamilton the week after. Oh my God, is the week after with Roy, taking submissions all weekend up in Hamilton and meeting Lou Ferrigno the Hulk. All right, guys, that's it for me. I'm tired. I want to go to bed. Have a fantastic night. Any questions? Give me a holler. You know how it goes. Until next time, my friends, take care. And I hope to see you on Tuesday at 8:30 p.m. right here on the Comic Doctor YouTube channel. Thanks for now. Bye.